This is a companion video to a program called Drive for Free. Today's program is about selling used items for top dollar. I'm talking about getting maximum money from a resource that you've already had for a number of years. It may not be the current model, plus you put some wear and tear on it, and we need to come up with a way to compensate for the things we've done to an item that diminish its price when we go to sell it. We got to think outside the box, and sometimes we need to think way outside the box. The technique works for things as simple as riding lawnmowers, bicycles, horse trailers, sailboats, heavy equipment, things like a bulldozer and a skid steer. It even works great for cars and trucks and motorcycles. And I actually picked up a car and I employed those techniques. I'm going to tell you about it. And this is the part where we're going to actually bring the item to sale, where we need to get the maximum amount of money. This is my gift to you. My premise is that if I share with you the techniques that I use, that if you follow those techniques, you can get similar results. I've covered many principles up to this point, but one of the main things is to create a compelling story. We're going to use Craigslist as the medium to get our story in front of the largest audience possible. And in the case of my 2007 Sky, every vehicle within that category has similar features and benefits. And if that's the extent of our story, we're going to get lost in the crowd. So a good place to start is get on Craigslist and eBay, find an item similar to what you have to sell, and use their form and their words and their descriptions as a place to start. But remember, the real success requires going well beyond that simple approach. So put on your thinking cap and come up with a variety of cost-effective additions that you can incorporate to make your product a unique item. Make it different and better than the competition. And once you come up with some of these cost-effective additions, go ahead and purchase them and get them installed. And in my Saturn Sky example, I've already explained the items that I added and why, and you can find that in my previous video called Drive for Free. Now what we're going to do is we're going to prep and flip the item. So this is the sales part of the process. And the first order of business is to take the car to the car wash and get it washed, get it waxed, and get it vacuumed out. The next step is we're going to clean the interior of the passenger compartment, and we're going to detail it the best way we can. And a little Armor All will do wonders in this department. There's some other chemicals you can get from a parts store that will help you in this area. While you're at it, be sure that your windows and your mirrors are immaculate. A special reminder is be sure you detail the engine compartment. And when you were at the car wash, I'm hoping you opened the hood and you got the car degreaser and you put it on, you let it soak a little bit, then you pressure washed it off with soap, and then you rinsed it. And so you've gotten all the dirt off and the grease, but it may not still look great. And so one of the things I do is I have a couple of cans of gloss and flat black spray paint. And I take certain items, hoses would be a good example. The idea is we're not painting them so they look like they're freshly painted. What we're trying to do is make them look like they're in good shape, and consistent color goes a long ways in that category. And you want to mask off areas that are not being painted, because overspray will make it look like you're trying to hide things, and we're not trying to hide things. We're trying to make things look better and consistent. So there's also exterior paint chips, and I get a ultra fine detail paintbrush, and I get a little paint that is matching the car. You can buy a container of that, and I dab that on a little divot where the paint has been knocked out, the little divot holes, and I go over that with my finger and it smooths it out. And you will be amazed at how well this works. Imagine taking a photographic tour of your item. So compose each shot to convey different parts of the story and try to shoot 15 to 20 good photos, which we're going to include in our post. You need to always start with a headline. It's short and sweet, and it needs to include the item name and year, perhaps. And so an example would be stunning 2007 Saturn sky with lots of extras. It kind of has a little hook that brings in a little extra interest. Now, get on Craigslist and take a look at the post. And when it gets down to the area that's called description, that's where you put your story. And when I'm doing the story, I like to include a number of paragraphs that talk about how much I've enjoyed owning this item. I compare and contrast it with other items that may be on a similar listing. I also want to point out how well it's done the job, how dependable it's been, any added features and benefits that I'm including. And if you have specifications, and cars have a lot of specifications, this is a good place to put those as well. Now, the words and the tone should not sound like you're selling. The big thing to remember is that we're trying to pass on the excitement. When the words and tone are concerned, we're not trying to sound like we're selling. The key to remember is our goal is to pass on our excitement, how proud we were to own this vehicle, how much fun it was to drive, mention things that you especially enjoyed. The next technique you're only going to hear from me, and that is that besides taking out the post in the ad in the city you live in, take out 2 more posts for cities that are within a couple of hours of your location. I live in Phoenix, and so I took out ads in Tucson, which is 2 hours to the south, and Flagstaff, which is 3 hours to the north. For $15, you get 3 Craigslist posts that run for 30 days, and that'll get you a lot of views. And once you get the first post, it's quick and easy to cut and paste and put the next 2 together. It only takes 1 buyer to complete the process and earn you top dollar. So take a look at the post, and the first picture that I use is what I call my glamour shot. So I show the right side, I show the left side, straight on front, the back including the spoiler, close-ups of tail lights, alloy wheels, the tread on the tires, show off the upgraded LED headlights, open the hood and show off the impressive engine compartment, the driver's controls, the instrument panel, including the odometer with the mileage showing. Be sure you show off the twin USB outlet upgrades, mention the electronic upgrades, including the touchscreen stereo, Bluetooth connectivity, hands-free phone, operation, GPS navigation, 10-band graphic equalizer, backup camera and front camera, add sound enhancements like the 4-channel 35 watts per channel for each interior speaker, separate sub-bass amplifier and the rear-mounted sub-bass speakers, and finally the trailer hitch and the slide-in bike carrier. Of course, you can use the same techniques with other non-vehicle items that you may want to sell. The same principles will work. You have to adapt the concepts to your particular situation. Remember my different and better strategy. Always add things that will increase the utility of your item and add uniqueness and benefit. In closing, it's valuable to always learn from things you undertake. I'm going to continue doing my Drive for Free concept for the rest of my life. My next Drive for Free strategy will include buying another Saturn Sky. This time I'll upgrade it from a 5-speed automatic to the 5-speed standard shift. I'll find a Sky with the turbocharger, which adds another 70 horsepower, when engaged. I'll do the same upgrades as before, but in addition, I'm going to change the car from a convertible to a hardtop with the rear deck upgrade, which costs $3,500, adds $5,000 to $7,000 to the price of the used vehicle. Thanks for listening. I'm the Can Do Guy. I'm with Living Large for Less, which is all about having fun and saving a bunch of money. And if you learned a thing or two, or if you have a friend that you might think will benefit from some of my concepts, please share them with them. Hit the subscribe button below, and that'll allow me to keep producing videos for you.